Today we are learning on ecosystem. The ecosystem is a natural unit of living organism, that is the biotic community, plants and animals of the habitat and their non-living environment, that is the soil, temperature, light, humidity, atmosphere, etc. All the functioning together as a single unit is called as ecological system or ecosystem. It is a basic functional unit as it included both the organism and their environment and influences the property of other and maintenance of the life. The different author defined the ecosystem. According to the Clark in 1954, the organism and their physical features of the habitat of the ecological complex of the ecosystem. According to O.P. Odom, in 1971, the ecosystem is the basic and functional unit of organism and their environment interacting with each other and their own components. The ecosystem may be as a small of drop of pond water, that is the micro ecosystem, and as large as the ocean, that is the macro ecosystem. Can be unit of the area of grassland, a pond, a lake, a forest, or an ocean. The ecosystem have the two main components, that is the abiotic components and biotic components. The abiotic components of the ecosystem include soil, water, air, and sunlight. Besides some organic compound such as carbohydrates, fat, protein, and lipid, the abiogenetic substance or organic elements and compounds such as carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur, nitrogen, calcium, etc. are requirement to sustain life of different biotic community, that is the living organism. These abiotic components enter in the body of the living organism, return to the environment. Another component is the biotic components. The living organism like the plants, animals, microorganisms present in the ecosystem are called a biotic component from nutritional point of view of the biotic components and classified into two group categories, that is the autotrophic components and phototropic components and chemotropic components and heterotropic components. The autotrophic components also divided into two types, that is the phototrophs and chemotrophs. And heterotropic components also divided into again three parts, that is the producer, consumer, and decomposer. The autotrophic components means it includes the plants and their includes the plants which produce their own food components through the process of the photosynthesis or chemosynthesis. These autotrophic components are also two types, that is the phototrophs and chemotrophs. The plant which produce their own food material by the process of the photosynthesis, utilizing the atmospheric carbon dioxide, water, and energy of the sunlight, and prepare their own food material with the help of the chloroplast. So, green plant also called as a phototropic plants or phototropic organism. The another part of the autotrophs is the chemotrophs. The plant which produce their food through the chemosynthesis by using atmospheric carbon dioxide CO2 and energy from the oxidation and reduction reaction. The another part of the biotic component, that is the heterotropic components. It consists of those organisms which depend on autotrophic or primary producer, that is the plants. Besides some heterotrophs, some organisms decompose and rearrange the organic substance are called as consumers, which are the saprophytes and parasites are the micro consumers are popularly known as decomposers and transformers. Reuser Odom in 1971 has classified the biotic components in the three large categories, that is producer, consumers and decomposers. The producer is the all green plants are the producers because they prepare their own food material with the help of the photosynthesis and atmospheric carbon dioxide, water, energy of the sunlight. They prepare their own food material and they consume the producer in the ecosystem. All the producers are the autotrophs. All the plants are the producers which manufacture the complex organic material into simple inorganic substance. The second part of the heterotrophs is the consumers. These organisms are mainly animals, consume the food synthesized by the producer and called consumers. Consumers depending upon their food habitat. Consumers are mainly three types. That is a primary consumer, secondary consumers and tertiary consumers. The primary consumers. These are the herbivorous animals like the plant eaters, feed on the plants and derive their energy from plants. For example, insect, zooplanktons, rodents, rabbits, deers, cattle, etc. Another is the secondary consumers. These are carnivorous, means flesh eaters, and the omnivorous animals, that is the insect, spider, birds, lizard, screw, dog, cat, etc. are the common carnivorous, and bear, man are the example of the omnivorous animals. The last consumer is the tertiary consumer. There are the heterotrophic organism, decomposers, and dead bodies of the producers and consumers by feeding upon them. For example, some bacteria and fungi, they attack the dead animals and degrade the complex organic substance into the simple compounds. Some bacteria and fungi carry out decomposition and transformation into carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus, iron, sodium, etc. They are suitable for reuse to producer. This decomposer and transformation make available the basic chemical substance again and again in the ecosystem for producer and play a very important role in maintaining the dynamic nature of the ecosystem. Types of the ecosystem. The in natural ecosystem of the world are broadly classified into terrestrial ecosystem and aquatic ecosystem. The major type of the terrestrial ecosystems are forest ecosystem, grassland ecosystem, desert ecosystem, tundra ecosystem, and the aquatic ecosystem again divided into freshwater ecosystem and marine water ecosystem. The general scheme of the classification of the natural ecosystem are as follow. The natural ecosystem divided into two types, aquatic ecosystem and terrestrial ecosystem. Again, the aquatic ecosystem is divided into two parts, that is the two type, that is the freshwater ecosystem and marine water ecosystem. The freshwater ecosystem again divided into two parts, that is the lentic ecosystem and lotic ecosystem. Lentic ecosystem means pond, lake, etc. and lotic ecosystem means river, spring, etc. The marine water again divided into estuarine water, neritic zone, oceanic zone. The terrestrial ecosystem again divided into five type, that is the grassland ecosystem, forest ecosystem, desert ecosystem, tundra ecosystem, and polar. The grassland again divided into four types, that is a tropical rainforest, tropical deciduous forest, temperate deciduous forest, coniferous, and alpine forest. This is the type of the natural ecosystem. Thank you.